Good afternoon and welcome to this webinar about Slovenia. I am Joris Krasnix from Everups and I will be guiding you through this webinar. I thank you first of all in taking time from your busy schedules to learn more about this small but beautiful, diverse and green country. In a second, I will give the word to Vesna Mozilovic from the Slovenian Tourist Board, followed by Jan Iska from the Green Cars and Clement Langes from the Julian Alps region. During the presentations, you can ask questions by using the chat function, which will be answered at the end of the presentations. Please stay with us until the very end, as we have some nice weekend packages for two to give away, plus some other presents. Enjoy the webinar. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Joris. Hello and welcome everybody also from my side. As said, my name is Vesna. Thank you for taking your time today to get to know Slovenia a bit better. I would also like to thank my co-hosts Dejan and Clement for joining us. But before we start with this presentation, we would like to invite you to make yourself comfortable, take a deep breath, relax, and with this video, embark with us on an imaginative journey through green Slovenia.
Listen, traveler, it's too late to go back now. The forests have filled your lungs. Rivers run in your heart. You have set the course for the land so green and abound with unspoilt nature that you will never be the same. You have come to Slovenia. To live hand in hand with these natural riches is a deep-rooted gratitude locals feel every day. The respect for nature shows in the way we think, live, and do. Slovenia Green is a unique story and a great lesson in sustainability for the rest of the world. It began with a pledge to preserve the pristine nature for us and for you. We set out on a long, steep path and became active guardians of our natural heritage. Local communities and tourist providers have all come together to build a unique model of sustainability in tourism. Over a decade, we put together a visionary policy that nurtures everyone by the table. Today, we are one of the world's greenest destinations. We encourage you to visit us by train, bike, or on foot. On your way, you will come to understand why we included the right to clean drinking water in our Constitution. We believe in responsible observation of the mysterious wildlife. The inhabitants of our ancient forests can teach us all how important it is to protect our planet. When your step becomes heavy, it is time to rest. We think green accommodation should be as close to stars, birds, and trees as possible. We believe in the green inspiration from one generation to another, from one traveler to another. It comes with a view that overwhelms. To know how to listen to a tree is for us a way of traveling too. You can never cross the same stream, walk the same forest path twice. Our commitment and enthusiasm for sustainable tourism have been contagious. Today we stand united, together with you, dear traveler, under the vision of Green Slovenia.
In today's presentation, We'll touch different subjects, from active and cultural activities, food and wine, natural spa resorts, and more. Let's see where Slovenia is located. It has a great Central European location in a triangle between Venice, Vienna, and Budapest, which makes it easily accessible from everywhere. You can reach us by car, bus, train, or with a 2 hour flight from Slovenia, from Amsterdam or Brussels. We are hearing how health safety and hygiene are the new luxury. I would like to point out that Slovenia is one of the safest countries in the world in general, but what is the most important currently is the health safety. Slovenia has one of the best epidemiologic pictures in Europe, and we are taking all the measures, also in tourism and hospitality, to preserve this. Although Slovenia is a small country, it's a very diverse because it's located at the crossroad of 4 geographical regions: the Alps, the Mediterranean, the Pannonian Plain, and the Karst. Slovenia is one of the greenest countries in the world in terms of nature, as 60% of its surface is covered with forest, and it's also one of the richest countries in terms of water. But Slovenia is green also in terms of our commitment to development of sustainable tourism, as you could already see and feel in the video, and we are proud of many achievements in this field. And if you really want to be one with nature, you can also stay in many of our camps with a tent, caravan, motorhome, or only your personal luggage in an organized but completely natural environment. But if you prefer more luxury, you can stay in one of our glamping resorts in pristine nature. Green nature is also a perfect playground for active holidays. Hiking, cycling, biking, skiing, fishing, golfing, and many more. In this part, I would just like to name a few locations. For example, at the heart of Julian Alps lies Lake Bohinj. The hills and valleys around it offer exceptional hiking and biking trails. Talking about activities, we for sure cannot leave out the beautiful Socha Valley, the valley of action, energy, festivals, and discoveries. More of this beautiful region my colleague Clemen will explain later. And now we are moving to the Mediterranean coast that is ideal for swimming, sailing, stand-up paddling, or simply taking a walk through the narrow streets of the historical coastal towns. Slovenia also has a rich cultural heritage. Everywhere you go, you will be impressed by historic towns, fairy tale castles, festivals. And we will start our cultural journey through Slovenia with Ljubljana as our capital. The image of the town by Ljubljanica River, with 3 bridges and a marketplace, was designed by the famous architect Jože Plečnik. It's a lively city surrounded by parks and natural protected areas. When talking about culture, we should mention also Maribor, Slovenia's second largest city, with the oldest grapevine in the world. The only Slovenian island is located at Lake Bled, where you can find a Gothic and Baroque church. There you can ring a bell, and the legends say that by doing so, you will be blessed with years of happiness and luck, which I'm sure you will agree are always very welcome. You can take a traditional Pletna boat to the island, and from it you will enjoy the view of the medieval castle placed on the rock overlooking the entire area. At the coast, Piran is a romantic historical town with the main square called Tartini Square, named after violinist and composer Giuseppe Tartini. Piran grew with the help of salt, and today in Sečovlje salt pans, you can still discover how salt is produced traditionally, like it was done 700 years ago. One of the cultural highlights of Slovenia is without a doubt Lipica, the oldest stud farm in Europe. In Slovenia, we have more than 10,000 karst caves. Postojna cave is the most popular and one of the most visited tourist caves in the world. More about karst region will tell you my colleague Dejan later. No matter time of the year, there are festivals all around Slovenia that are really worth visiting, such as open-air theaters, music festivals, street performances, and many more. In order to get a good insight into nation culture, it's important to understand local wine and food. Slovenia is diverse also in this aspect. In 24 gastronomic regions and 3 wine-growing areas of Slovenia, there are no less than 365 typical local dishes and drinks. Slovenia has also been awarded the title of European Region of Gastronomy 2021. In case you don't have enough time to visit all the Slovenian regions, culinary events such as Odprta kuchnia, meaning open kitchen, offer an excellent opportunity to taste Slovenia in one place. And farm-to-table concept is a regular feature in Slovenian restaurants, as they source their ingredients from local farms. We have more than 800 tourist farms where you can also spend your holidays and be a part of daily farm activities. There are many amazing chefs in Slovenia. Just to mention 2 of them, very famous Ana Roš and Tomaž Kavčič. But the best thing to get to know all of them properly is to come and taste their food. This year, really soon, actually now in June, we are all anxiously waiting for the announcement of the list of the best Slovenian restaurants included in the first Michelin Guide to Slovenia, and we will be glad to share it with you once the secret is revealed. In the last part of my presentation, I would like to talk about Slovenian spa resorts, as they are one of the most important products of Slovenian tourist offer. We have 15 natural spa resorts in Slovenia with centuries-long tradition. They have developed green, active and healthy experiences for body, mind and soul. The offer of Slovenian natural health resorts can be divided into 4 main products. Health treatments related with programs for rehabilitation, medical wellness to preserve health and prevent diseases, wellness and selfness, and aquafun thermal water parks, which are perfect for families. And to make exploring Slovenia even more personal, we've designed boutique 5-star experiences with Slovenia Unique Experiences label. Here are just a couple of them to give you a first taste. You can find all of them on our webpage, where you will find many other useful information to help you prepare a perfect holiday for your clients or yourself in Slovenia. And now I would like to pass the word to Dejan to take you on a virtual karst adventure.
Thank you, Vesna, for a really nice presentation. Firstly, I would like to ask Joris for a short video insert about some of our highlights in the destination. Thank you. Hopefully you have managed to get a glimpse of some of our highlights, and I imagine that most of you already see that our specialty in what we do and what we present is definitely nature. So this is where I would also like to start, but just so that you get the basic idea where we are currently located is on the west side of Slovenia, just between borders between Italy and Croatia. What is one of our main advantages is that Slovenia is quite a small country, so this means that you can visit all of the locations really quickly, and everything is accessible either by bus or by public transport. Our destination is located about half an hour drive from Ljubljana, our capital city, about 30 minutes from Slovenian seaside, so from Slovenian seaside towns such as Piran, Koper, Izola, and Ankaran. About half an hour drive from Goriška Brda, famous for its wine and cherries, and of course all of the main attractions that are in the vicinity, such as Lipica Stud Farm and some of the others which we will see later on. Maybe just a couple of words on what we do and who we are. We are a DMO focusing mainly on the destination of green karst. What we try to do is try to make experiences for our customers, and we tailor-made each of them specifically for the needs that our clients have. Regarding this, we just use what basically our area has to offer, which means having authentic and unique and rare experiences, either in nature, either in activities, and either in experiences. So we are also registered as a travel agency and tour operators focusing on our destination, which means that we are working with our tourist providers such as accommodations, local tourist guides, attractions, and we do organization of many different things, which we will see shortly on. What are our main highlights? As I already mentioned, we focus mostly on our nature, and because we are a karst destination, this means that our world is famous for both above ground and below ground natural phenomena. First and foremost, Vesna already mentioned underground caves. Our most famous one and most visited one is Postojna. But in the vicinity or in our area, you can see all of the other ones, such as Škocjan caves, which are famous as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, one of the first ones in Slovenia. Križna cave, famous for its underground lakes, which has basically an emerald water, and you can do hiking and walking and both ride underground. And all of others special ones that have different type of experiences into each and every one. Our above ground world is famous for disappearing lakes. This means that all of the water that is on the surface in one part of year disappears in the underground caves. This means that if we arrive in June, July, and August, all of this would be empty field, while in spring and autumn, we can have one of the largest lakes that are currently in Slovenia. One of the most famous, of course, is the Lake Cerknica, located about 20 minutes drive from Ljubljana, where visitors can do all sorts of activities, such as canoe rides, boat rides, and also cycling with local guides around it. Our area is quite famous for being a really rocky one, so caves sometimes collapse, and all we are left with is this beautiful natural landscape. This is one of the cases, one of the best locations in my mind, Natural Park of Rakov Škocjan, famous because it has really wild, undiscovered nature all written in itself. What we also do is try to connect cultural heritage. Regarding this, we focus mostly on our past and our tradition. So we are combining museum exhibits, such as this one in the Karst Museum of Postojna, which has a treasure from Predjama Castle. We have Predjama Castle, which is one of the most famous hotspots in Slovenia for either Instagram followers or for people who are interested in our history. But it's one of only many castles located in the area. So we do special tours focusing on cultural heritage and also special experiences. And one of the most special experiences regarding culture that we have is basically a visit of the submarine, the only one in Slovenia and in the larger area. And one of the specialties is that you can also visit the inside and try to see how the sailors lived in many months under the sea. Traditional events are quite an important part of our cultural heritage. Our most famous masks are done by hand, and each year we have special events that are one of the most visited ones in the area. So we have special carnivals focused in the towns of Cirknica and Ilirska Bistrica, which are quite similar to the Ptuj carnival, but they mostly focus on old traditional masks, which can only be seen at that time of the year. This means that, for example, these types of masks are only allowed to show to the general public during the festivities in 1 week of each year. So some of the special activities that we are doing is organizing hiking trips. We are members of Via Dinarica hiking trail connection, which connects Slovenia to the entire Balkans, so throughout the Dinaric mountains. This is the start of the trail, which goes from Nanos, Postojna, all the way to the top of Snežnik, which is part of UNESCO World Heritage Site. And it then descends towards Croatia, and it goes on towards Croatia, Bosnia, Serbia, Montenegro, and so on. Some of the activities that we are developing are basically activities in nature. This means canoe rides, boat rides, and also special focus in the last year has been done on the cycling tourism. We have divided cycling tourists into different segments, so we have something for each of them, either mountain bikers, trail rides, but what I admire most is our offer in the field of tourism for all. So it's basically cycling for the disabled, because we also try to include everybody in the tourism, because everybody has a right to travel and everybody should experience each country in its best way. So some of the activities that we also do, or the programs as a DMO, this is the newest one. It's called Explore the Wonder Nature. It basically allows visitors to explore our natural locations with our cultural heritage. But we have decided that we would like to do it tailor-made, and we have included experts from all sorts of ornithology, cave explorers, museum curators, and so on, so that the experience of the destination is as best as possible. We have 1 and multiple day possibilities, and it's also a cross-country program, which means that we can connect Slovenia with Croatia. What are some of the highlights? Most definitely brown bear observation tours, which are our specialty, because in the destination we are working on, it's about 900 wild bears in its natural habitat, which means that you can go with a specialized forest hunter, see the brown bears in the forests, and then take a photo. So we do different photo tours, different observation tours, and so on. Which is really one of a kind experience, especially because the bears are wild and very unpredictable. These tours also include bird watching, wild lynx observations, but we try to present to our participants, to our guests, the importance of how that they know and that they basically are educated enough so that they know that we are trying to do a observation of wild animals as respectfully towards nature as possible and as sustainably as possible. Regarding this, we also try to incorporate what the best locations that we have for regarding accommodation and also cuisine. So this is some of our natural glamping locations within the forest. And we also work closely with our local tourist guide some of them also Dutch speaking, so it's quite an important information for everybody who would like to visit our destination. Last but not least, we have a couple of words about local culinary products. We try to work with people who are providers of local and specialize or basically work as quality as possible that they can. So we have some of the EU origin protected delicacies such as prosciutto, different types of liquors and so on. Some of our food is really, I mean, all of our food is really tasty, but it's really special just for the area because it's connection of Italian, of Central European, and also of Slovenian cuisine. So it's basically a mix of everything, and you can really taste that in our products. As a destination, we are located close to vineyards, so we can also do wine tastings in its natural habitat, in natural environment, in the vineyards of our providers. But what we did last year, and I really received really nice feedback, is we tried to take what our area has to offer and we did something special in it. So this is how we came up with the secret dinner concepts, which we then translated into castle-like environments, such as secret dinner at Prem Castle with top Slovenian chefs. We did 3 of them. One was in a castle, one was in a museum. So you basically had a top-end dinner in a museum surrounded by exhibits, by large artifacts and so on. And the last one was in its really natural environment because we wanted to present the nature as a perfect backdrop for everything that we do. So this was really well taken care of, and we are doing this also in the future. So hopefully you got a short glimpse of what we have to offer. I would like to invite you all to visit our website, greenkarst.si, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I would like to pass on the word to my colleague Clement from Julian Alps, and see you later.
Thank you very much, Dan, for this beautiful insights to our karst region in Slovenia. I do hope I will pronounce this okay. Godemiddag, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear tourists, dear service providers, dear journalists, dear colleagues. As already mentioned, my name is Clement Langus, and I'm Director of Tourism Bochum, the local tourist board, and the coordinator of the Julian Alps Association or community. This is actually a regional network at the tourist level. And today I would like to present you our region and a brand new long distance hiking trail called Juliana Trail. Speaking about the Julian Alps, this is actually a wide area under the UNESCO Man and Biosphere program, which is my opinion, an important program where man and nature play the main role in the film or movie entitled Finding the Right Balance. And it's also a region that covers the area of one of the oldest national parks in Europe and the only national park in Slovenia, called after name of the highest mountain in Slovenia, Triglav, namely Triglav National Park. And I already saw one question. There is no fee to enter this park. Why I am showing you this? Because this is an answer to the question why sustainable development or sustainable tourism is a must. The special feature of the Julian Alps UNESCO Biosphere area lies in the multitude and diversity of precious natural phenomena and cultural heritage on a very small and enclosed area which cannot be found anywhere else in Europe except in the Julian Alps in Slovenia. This is the certification we've got in 2003 so that you have proof that we are really Man and Biosphere Reserve. Julian Alps Biosphere Reserve, or let us say better region, because reserve might have negative connotation. This is our geographical image of our region. The northwest of Slovenia borders to Italy and Austria. It's about 1,100 kilometers from Brussels. That means about 11 to 12 hours drive by car, 1 hour flight. But we also encourage you or arrival of your guests with the public transport. For example, I checked today train connections, and there is about 12 to 14 hours drive by train, 3 to 5 changes. For example, Brussels Midi to Munich, Munich to Villach in Austria, and then Villach to the region of the Julian Alps. Some information about the Julian Alps Biosphere region, which will help you get the entire image of the region. So there is one national park called Triglav, which it's also the only in Slovenia. 2 nature reserves, natural monuments, nature value areas. There is more than 2,200 animal species, 1,600 types of plants. It's no wonder that our region hosts the International Wildflower Festival in Bochum, which is actually a homage to man and nature, and which take place every year in May and June. We just finished it last Sunday, and we did organize also this year in a coronavirus epidemic. We managed to organize the festival kind of 2-dimensionally, meaning virtually, of course, but we also have been able to organize some events also live. For all the people who already reserved the visit in Slovenia in the Julian Alps for the International Wildflower Festival, and now can see all the beauty online, and you can also check it on bochum.si. Well, there is a lot of cultural heritage in the area, spoken today, a lot of it already. The people living in the Julian Alps area are very much intertwined with preserving and caring for natural and cultural heritage. Our goal based on 3 pillars: preserve natural environment, of course, sustainable development, and environmentally friendly tourism we are trying to develop. The Julian Alps can be proud of many international awards that prove that this is really an exceptional geographical area. The last prize we won, Bochum, for example, has been recognized by European Best Destination, which falls under the European Commission EDEN, European Destination of Excellency Network, among 20 safest regions in Europe. And of course, you can imagine how proud we are. Now, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, let us talk a little bit numbers and the tourism in the region. I already said that and we saw that this is a small region, but for us it's quite big, 2,000 square kilometers big area with just 90,000 people. And this means also that we have enough space to keep the recommended social or physical distance of 1.5 meter. We're a very important region concerning the tourism. Julian Alps, 26% of all overnights, more than 40,000 beds in hotels, 3, 4, 5 stars, apartments, private rooms, camping sites, glamping sites, huts in the mountains, and you can imagine that we have been quite affected by this epidemic. But we are very positive. The Julian Alps community or association has brought together major and strong destinations. We already saw today Bled, for example, which is the Alpine Pearl with glacial lake and the castle, the island in the middle, or Bochum, already mentioned by Vesna, the hidden oasis in the central part of the national park with the largest natural permanent lake in Slovenia, which has more than 100 million liters of water, which according to the local legend would fill just the right wooden bucket if it were big enough. And then Gorička Brda also called the Slovenian Tuscany, a wine region at the foothills of the Julian Alps. The beautiful scenery marked by the Emerald Socha River, where you can enjoy a lot of possibilities, outdoor activities, kayaking, canoeing, rafting, paragliding, cycling, hiking, and etc. And let's go back to the north. Kranjska Gora, we see here the Zelenci on the photo, which is one of the spring of the Sava River, the longest river in Slovenia. Kranjska Gora is also very popular ski center and the venue of the World Cup in alpine skiing and ski jumps. Okay, dear guests, this is all quite good, the facts, the numbers, everything perfect until now, I would say. But not also in Slovenia, but also in other regions, the world, we have faced kind of contradiction between the promises and the reality, the contrast between the promise and reality. Me personally, as a director, of course, I'm paid to say, tourists, we offer the tourists peace, quiet, quality, unspoiled nature, beautiful countryside, friendly people. So actually, we are promising a paradise on earth. But the question is this also reality? To keep this promise, and according to the sustainable tourism model, we promote in the Julian Alps and Slovenia, of course, responsible tourism management, where tourism brings value to the environment, nature, people, the local community, preserves cultural and natural heritage, and accelerates the development of the local environment, and also gives to our guests and tourists 5-star experiences all the time. Therefore, the balance between the development and the protection is, of course, our priority. Responsible tourism is an opportunity, I would say, for our generation, which we were quite aware even before this crisis. But now it's an opportunity for all us. When talking about the Julian Alps and Slovenia, I have no fear. The foundation of the house we have built is strong, and it's now up to us how the new house or reconstructed one will look like. And this is how we came to an idea of designing a long distance trail. It's not just another tourist product, but it's a basis for our cooperation in the region. Juliana Trail actually represents all our values and vision. These are some technical data about this new trail. So it's a 270 kilometers long, about 10,000 meters of ascent and descent. It has 16 stages, about approximately 70 to 20 kilometers a stage, which means about 4 to 5 hours hike, but actually it will take you the whole day, since we are encouraging that you go slowly, enjoying the views, enjoying just sitting on the bench, maybe on some beautiful sites, enjoying the nature, maybe meeting local people in the midst of your hike. The trail can be also hiked in a single stage. It will take you about, of course, if there is 16 stages, 16 days, but it can be done, my colleagues say, also in 12. The trail is marked well. The difficulty level is easy by moderate. And it has been digitalized. And from next week, an app is going to be available. And we also prepared a small guidebook, and in autumn, guidebook. It's a little bit with a new guidebook is going to be published with a little bit more information on the region, with different stories, legends, some gastronomy and local features. It all can be found under julianaalps.com. And the trail has also a booking center where you can make your reservation, and will also help you with all your needs, for example, like organizing a luggage transfer if you need it. Some of the images from the trail. So this is the very important news actually. You won't be conquering any mountain peaks along the Juliana Trail. The trail actually runs at the foothills of high mountains and on the edges of the Julian Alps and the Triglav National Park. For example, this is one of the view directly from the trail, magnificent view to the so-called Spik mountain range in Upper Sava Valley. Or here, for example, the trail also runs you through different villages, small villages, some abandoned villages, or here, for example, through old town of Radoulica, which is known by chocolate festival organized every year in April. The trail actually takes you to places where you can feel the pulse of life in the Julian Alps, where you meet people, where you can enjoy breathtaking natural and cultural heritage, as well as explore the biodiversity of alpine world. It takes you where we prove you that we have not forgotten about nature, and we will preserve it for everyone. The trail takes you to clear rivers, waterfalls, forests, breathtaking trees that hang over cliffs, and lets you wander through flower-filled meadows. Outside slide, you can see here in this slide here, you can see the Socha River. And let me finish with this beautiful view to the island in Bled, in Lake Bled, to explore, to hike, to experience new and unknown adventures, to see and feel everything that is not offered to everyone. We want you to invite, to experience this trail, to explore the contrast between a promise and reality, and to find a simplicity of a life. The trail, the Ilana Trail and the Julian Alps, 6 different heroes. Like here, for example, my colleague Ivana, or here my colleague Martin. Let me finish like this, dear ladies and gentlemen. In a few years' time, this new tourism product will be measured, of course. I do hope that besides the arrivals, overnight numbers, the tourism consumptions, this trail will be measured also by how many hectares of cultivated landscape we still have, how our attitudes toward the biodiversity has been changed, how many new means of public transportation has been introduced, how many young people and families decided to stay in the area. Actually, I do hope that also, or maybe even the doctors will prescribe Juliana Trail for a treatment for different kind of problems. For example, like stage 1 of Juliana Trail for headache problems, stage 9 of Juliana Trail for stomach problems, etc., etc. Dear ladies and gentlemen, kindly invited to Slovenia, Julian Alps, and Juliana Trail, and I would like to ask Joris to show us a short video we have prepared.
Thank you, Vesna, Dejan, and Clement for showing us your beautiful country. We will now proceed with the Q&A part of this webinar. I got quite a lot of questions. I'll start maybe with the last part for Clement about the Juliana Trail. Can you hike part of the trail? I assume so, but how is it done?
Yes, you can decide to hike just part of it, just maybe one stage. If you come, for example, for 3 days to Slovenia and decide to stay 2 or 3 days in the Julian Alps, you just decide which you just pick up the stage and hike one stage, maybe stage number 2, and then the next day you go to stage number 9. It's not a problem.
Okay. If you do a multiple day tour, how is the luggage transported, or do you have to take your own luggage with you?
Like I said, there is a booking center, and they are organizing everything for you. Also, the luggage transfer is then organized. Yes, and there is also part of it. There are good connections with the public transport, buses or even train. So you can organize a hike from I don't know, maybe stage number 2, and then after you finish stage number 2, you can return by bus or by train back to stage number 1.
Okay, good. Can you camp in the wild?
In the Julian Alps, in the Triglav National Park, no. Okay.
And what accommodation is there used? Is it B&Bs? Is it hotels?
Yes, thank you. On the Juliana Trail, you can find all kind of accommodation, since the stages always end at the main tourism destinations, like in Kranjska Gora or then Bled, you would know, or Bohin or Socha Valley, and you could find every possible kind of accommodation, from hotels to apartments, private rooms, camping sites, etc.
Okay. In regards to the travel guide or the guide that you're going to put in place, in what language will it be available?
We have now the guide. The guide is in 3 languages: Slovene, English, and German. Okay. It's everything. It's also on the internet site. It's all the stages in the Juliana Trail. They have a good description. You can find good description on internet. Also in 3 languages. Now also the French language is coming in. I would not like to lie to you, but I think in 3 weeks' time the French language description in French language is going to be published on the internet, and this small guidebook can be sent also already today.
Okay, so you can order it in advance.
Yeah.
Okay. One last question in regards to the Juliana Trail. Is it necessary to reserve the accommodation before, or is there plenty so that you can choose depending on where you end that day?
Speaking for the main season in July and August, I would suggest to make a reservation in advance. Then later on in the year, in September, October, this is not necessary.
Okay, good. Thanks, Clement.
Thank you.
Other questions that we received, I think this is more for Vesna, if they can use the movies and shown, but that's for the 3 speakers, of course, on the social media.
Yes, of course. We can send the links, the movies, no problem. Maybe also in this thank letter, we can give a link to this green movie. Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. One more thing, I think, more or less for Clement, but you answered it already for the Juliana Park. Is there an entry fee for national parks? Is it?
No, like I said, there is no fee to entrance the national park.
Okay. Okay.
What about Dejan? Your parks, maybe?
No, also all of our parks are free of charge, so no entry fees.
Okay, good. Another question: does STO provide a list of hotels with their opening dates?
Actually, in Slovenia, the hotels are open if they decide so. So they have permission to work normally. But some of hotels decide not to open yet until the borders are not all opened, because they are more for the foreign tourists. So they are waiting to have more reservations. But Actually, they can be opened, all of them already.
Okay. And I think the last question is more or less related to it, but yeah, a very important one. What are the current entry conditions for, well, not only for Belgians, we also have people attending here and this webinar from Holland and from Luxembourg, so maybe for the entire region, or yeah.
Yeah, it's actually like that. It's changing day by day. It depends on epidemiologic situation in specific country and agreements between countries and, of course, EU regulation. We actually have the list of countries from where people could come to Slovenia, and this list is longer every day, day by day, and we believe that also Belgium, Benelux region will be on this list very soon. I hope, I assume around 15th of June, but they are not on the list yet. But like I say, every day the list is longer, and I believe in 1 week you will be on the list too.
Okay.
If, of course, epidemical situation is not going worse in some of your countries.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we have time for one more question. Other questions will be also answered later on via the email. So don't worry if other questions will still come. But maybe an important one, Vesna, or maybe for all of you, what is for you the best time to visit Slovenia?
Anytime, actually. Depends what kind of things you want to do. In the summertime, in the spring, in the autumn, you can discover beautiful nature, hiking, cycling, doing sport or swimming in the coast area or be in the caves. But in the wintertime, you have a lot of winter kind of sports like skiing and doing winter activities, going in Christmas market in Ljubljana, or visiting caves in any time, because under the ground the temperature is all the year the same. So I would say all the year around.
Okay, good. Well, thank you. If other questions will come up, we will answer them later on via email. So now the time you've all been waiting for, the prize draw. Just to avoid questions later on, I have used the specific tool, random name picker, to choose the winners. So yeah, just to avoid all kinds of discussions later on. As you heard, in Slovenia, there is a lot to discover on the culinary side. So we start with giving away 5 aprons and 5 Go Mio guides, so you can go and experience the culinary delights that Slovenia has to offer yourself. The 5 winners for this package are Ingrid Trakman from DTS OTC, Koen Herbolts from Herboltsreizen, Geert Agneses from Welcome Travel, Caroline Penning from TUI, and Steven Vervaker from Yindi Travel. Congratulations. We also have 2 weekend packages to give away. I'll briefly explain what they are about, but in general, or the full description about what you won will be coming from Dejan and from Clement. So first, about the Julian Alps region. They give away a weekend package for 2 in Hotel Jezero, which is a 4-star hotel in Bohinj. The winner for that is Kira from the Sixth Sense. And then the last weekend package is an all-inclusive experience at the Green Karst to explore the destination with which will be tailor-made for the 2 of you. And the winner for that is Laurent from Voyage van Lierde. So with these great prizes, we have come to the end of this webinar. Once more, I would like to thank Vesna, Dejan, and Clement for their enthusiastic presentation. This webinar will be placed on the website of STO and will be forwarded to you, so it can be used to show your colleagues or to convince potential clients to go to Slovenia. If you want, you can put it also on your website. All has been said, so thanks once more for attending. All the best, and hope to see you soon in Slovenia. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. It was nice.
Thank you very much to all Joris and to all of you. Thank you.
And congratulations to our winners. We will be happy to have you here.